5. When it comes to loyal websites, the top 5% are doing something very different to the rest. The vast majority send their traffic to their homepage, but the best performing firms, they send their visitors to a dedicated landing page instead. Now, why is that? First, let's get clear on what we're talking about. So a homepage is what you see when you type in your website URL. It's like walking through a busy department store. Lots of departments, lots of options, great for browsing. Landing page, that's like a market stall that just sells apples. Here's a critical thing. It's not that one page is better than the other. It's just that they're designed for completely different situations. A homepage is for browsing, for exploring. A landing page is for buying or taking action. In a landing page situation, something's happened, often dramatic in their life. It's a breakup, it's a dispute, it's a legal problem that they need to take action on. Now, in that moment, they're not into browsing. They're trying to solve an important issue, an important problem, fast, often as fast as possible. So the worst thing you can do when someone's in that state is to give them options. It's the last thing they want. Anything that gets in the way actually does them a disservice. And that's why landing pages work so well. Not because they're prettier, not because they're more clever, but because they're simple and they match what the prospect actually wants to do perfectly. Now, not surprisingly, these pages require different skill sets. The web designer uses aesthetics to communicate value and brand positioning. They're like a tour guide, but that doesn't always translate into actually taking action. And that's why most homepages convert between 0 and just 2%. Now, landing pages, they're designed and tested around human behavior and conversion psychology. Now, they can get 10%, 20% conversions, sometimes even more. They're not your tour guide, they're your online salesman. So let me show you a real world example. So one firm I know very well wanted to improve their inquiries. Who doesn't? So they spent nearly 2 months redesigning their entire website. And the results? No measurable change in performance. So, not to be defeated, they tried again, this time with a different designer. And this time the performance actually went down, albeit slightly. Now, these weren't bad designers. Actually, they were both very good. They're just asking a tour guide to do a salesman's job. So what we did was something very different. We did nothing. For 30 days, we did nothing. We just observed. We actually tracked the user's activity and we spoke to a handful of their real clients. And then we used those insights, which are always incredibly powerful, to create a completely new online experience based around one landing page. Now, what do you think happened? Well, honestly, first of all, there wasn't much change. But after some optimization, it started to produce results. By 30 days, the inquiry rates had doubled. And look, there's an important lesson here because you rarely get this perfect first time. Reality is it usually takes some experimentation. And to get the best possible results, we're constantly doing A/B testing. Amazon, for reference, they perform 12,000 experiments a year. Not because they don't know what they're doing, but because optimization, well, it's never finished. Now, there's a whole bunch of things you want to test. But first of all, we're just trying to understand the prospect the best we can. Now, one of the big things we like to focus on is moving away from what we call we language and moving towards me language. Let me explain. So if you take a look at your own homepage right now, chances are you're using we language. We do this, we do that, talking about you. But your prospects, they really don't care about you yet. They care about themselves, what you can do for them. That's it. So to give you an example, instead of saying, we help you get through divorce, say something like, it's your future. Learn how to move through divorce effortlessly and without making any costly mistakes. And that's why we started by observing, by actually talking to real customers. This gives us the insights we need, the language they use, their motivations, their concerns. We learn what they want to run towards, and we want to learn what they want to avoid, what they're running away from. And you get that messaging right, it changes the performance completely. When they land on your webpage, they think to themselves, these guys get me, they understand me. These are the people I want to work with. Where do I book? And And that's a night and day different experience when you compare it with a generic, bland web page that frankly looks like all the rest. Now, if this is something you want to explore for yourself, for those that qualify, you can, because we actually offer a free landing page test service. Now, we don't need to touch your existing website in any way. We produce the page and we run it for 30 days as a live, real-world test. If you want to keep it, you pay us. If you don't, you can just walk away. I'll put a link in the description if you want to join that waiting list. Okay, so we've talked a lot about what a landing page is, but not what a landing page is. I mean, the individual components. So in the next video, I go into detail about the specific elements that you need to maximize your online conversions.